It's the man with the plan, D. Brown.
And it's your girl JoJo Brown, and this is Keeping It Real with the Brown, where we keep it all the way real. What's
All the way
up?
real.
We're back, we're back. Episode 13.
One, tres. Uno, tres.
Uno tres. Uno tres for shout out to Hispanic Heritage Month. Just have to go. This is you want to come in here in Spanish.
Yeah. So, amigas and amigos.
Listen, this is gonna be a gem dropper episode. So I'm gonna need y'all to pay close attention and please remind them what they need to do to receive this value.
Yes, indeed. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share with at least 5 to 10 people so we can continue to push the envelope, shift the perspectives, and changing lives.
Yes. Let's get it, man. Let's get right into it
Let's
because
get it.
you know, I get a little passionate when we talk about this kind of stuff. But y'all see it. We're gonna break it down for you.
Break it all the way down.
We are literally going to break this all the way down for you guys. If you are in a position where you are facing challenges with your credit, pay close attention.
Pay very close attention. Take copious notes if you have to. This is a common thing that we have noticed since we have been in the industry of people not understanding how their credit scores are calculated, right? So you definitely want to make sure that you stay tuned throughout the whole duration of this episode, because once you come out of this, you're going to have understanding, you're going to have clarity on how your credit scores are calculated so you can get to that maximum credit score in the next 30 days. That's what we're going to show you, how to boost your scores in the next 30 days.
Yes, absolutely. And let me ask some of y'all, how many of y'all have credit cards? I want you to drop it in the comment section. Say I, say credit card, say whatever you want. But how many of you guys currently have credit cards, or how many of you all need credit cards or don't have credit cards because you're afraid of credit cards, right? So we're going to talk to you guys about 2 very important dates. So again, if you're someone who has credit cards, and you're facing maybe some challenges on how to pay down your credit cards, or if you're someone who doesn't have a credit card, needs a credit card, or sometimes, we have clients that come to us and say, I'm just afraid to touch these credit cards. Like, listen, these credit cards don't got no emotions. Like, it's just us. We need to know how to properly leverage these credit cards to our advantages. And so we're going to get into these 2 very important dates.
Yes. So the first important date you need to understand is your statement date, right? When your statement hits for whatever balance that's owed on your credit card, right? That's very important. The second date is going to be your statement closing date. So let's say, for example, right, your statement date is on the 15th, right? Your due date may be on the 17th or the 18th. So you make that payment on the 18th, we'll say, right? And your statement closing date may be on the 23rd of each billing cycle, right? So you want to ensure that you make your payment before your statement closing date. And here's the reason why this is very important to understand. Whatever balance that's owed on your credit card, that is what's going to report to the credit bureaus. So if you have a credit limit of $1,000, and you have maxed out on that credit card, let's say you've utilized 90% of that balance, that is what's going to report to the credit bureaus. So understand, amount owed right here is 30%. That's what the lenders, that's what the banks require, right? We'll recommend for you to keep your utilization at 30% or under. We always advise our clients, keep it at 10% or under. And the reason why it's a good practice to understand is, let's say unforeseen circumstances happen, you need to use that credit card, right? Maybe an emergency, etc. Well, if you're at 10% or under and you have to use it for an emergency, you're still within that threshold. You're still way under the 30%. So it's not going to compromise your credit score tanking, right? So that's a really good practice that we have implemented for our clients, educating our clients and our communities on keeping your utilization at 10% or under each billing cycle, right? Now, here's a credit card hack for those that don't know. Or you may say, you know what, I really need to boost my score up. Like I'm trying to buy a home, whatever the case may be. Here we go. All right. So let's say if your statement date is on the 15th of every billing cycle, right? Your statement closing date is on the 23rd. What you want to do is, let's say you've utilized $300 on a credit card, right? What you want to do is you want to pay $150 3 days before your statement date, right? And then you want to pay the remaining $150, you want to pay that 3 days before your due date, right? So what happens is when it reports to the credit bureaus, it's going to report as 2 consecutive payments within that billing cycle, right? This is an algorithm, guys. Like, understand, like, the systems, they're not real people at the bureaus that's monitoring. What they do is the lenders, they report your balance, man, it goes into their database with the credit bureaus. That's how they're able to, calculate where you're at each billing cycle. But you need to understand the importance of algorithm, right? So when it reports as 2 consecutive payments within that billing cycle, that's a win-win for you. Because not only does it establish good faith, right? The lenders and the bank, they're looking like, wow, you just made 2 payments. Like, you're showing responsibility. Like, you're showing that you are eager to pay this debt or this balance back on that credit card. And it significantly boosts your score up. I mean, we've had clients where they receive 60, 70 point increases just like that within the first 30 days, just by following this model. So I'm going to repeat that again. You want to make, if you spend, let's say $300 on a credit card, right? And your credit card limit is $1,000. So you're like, okay, I'm at about 30%, which is cool, right? But we want to get it down to 10%. You want to make $150, right? 3 days before your statement date. And then the remaining $150, right? 3 days before your due date. So when it reports on the 23rd, it's going to report and show that you've made 2 consecutive payments within that billing cycle.
And that's why he's wearing blue today, because he's dropping gems, nothing but gems.
Ooh, I like that. I like
nothing
that.
but gems today.
Yes. You see the little change. We changing lives. So, legendary.
Absolutely. So again, I hope you guys are taking notes, because this is really good info, right? So again, to kind of recap, you want to know your 2 credit card key dates, right? Your due date and your statement date, right? Due date being the day that you have to pay your minimum balance, right? To avoid late fees, to avoid interest, right? We always recommend pay a little bit more than that minimum balance. And then, of course, your closing date, as Dee explained, is the date that reports to the bureaus. So those are
crucial.
These are crucial dates now.
Crucial
dates.
And before you even proceed, what you need to understand is this: if you don't know when your statement date is or your closing date, go to your mobile app, right? Or call your lender, right? Call your credit card company and say, hey, listen, I need to know when my statement date is, my due date, and my closing date. You should know when your due date is. Like, you should know that at least. But a lot of people don't know their statement closing date, and that is the most important date of all 3. Okay? So if you don't know, give your credit card company a call or log into your mobile app. You'll be able to pull up the statements and write it down, right? We're showing you guys how to get structured, how to be able to get back on track to reach your credit and financial goals.
Yes, and let me tell you, speaking just a little bit on statistics, Americans are drowning in trillions of dollars in credit card debt. You don't want to be a part of that number. And number 2, it really is because of lack of information, lack of education, the same education, the gems that we are providing to you right this second, right? As you can see up there, 30% of what makes up your overall score is amounts owed.
Amount owed.
Okay, as you can see, that is a big chunk of what makes up your overall credit score. So
That's good.
this is some good stuff.
That's really good. That's really good. We wanted to provide visual while we're explaining, so you can really say, "Oh, this is why my score hasn't increased," or "This is why my credit score is constantly dropping." So even if you're working with a Brown Solution Services or another company out there, and you're like, "Well, I see, and I see you guys helping me with my credit, but it's not moving." 9 times out of 10, it's because you're walking around with high utilization percentage.
Yeah.
Right. Or you're not paying your bills on time. So it's dropping your score. So understand payment history is 35%. Look at the pie chart, right? Amounts owed, which is your utilization percentage, is 30%. But just imagine if they're telling you keep your utilization at 30% or under, and Brown Assets Group, Brown Solution Services is telling you to keep your utilization at 10% or under, what's going to happen to your credit score if you keep that consistent rhythm going over the next coming months? So if you start now, before we hit 2026, you're going to be in a great position, right? So just buckle down. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. We'll have our links in the description below. If you don't know where you stand, we can help you, give you some clarity, give you that realistic roadmap so we can help you get back on track.
Absolutely. And we get clients that, we even get clients that do their very best and actually do pay towards their credit cards and are often paying like the minimum balance,
Right.
And then they're always saying, "Oh my goodness, like it's taking me forever. Why is that? Like I pay on time, my credit doesn't increase that much, and this, that, and the third." I'm like, well, have you looked at your interest rates? You know?
That's really good.
You see, like paying the minimum balance is not going to get you anywhere. It's going to take you forever.
Right.
And so that is why it's so important and so key to understand those 2 dates, because it is very, very helpful. Any extra cash you got going on, any extra money you got, as he mentioned, dump it into your credit cards because it truly does make a difference.
It's really good.
So yeah, I really hope you guys are taking notes. And again, we were talking about 35% being your payment history. Y'all, I don't want to be late on making payments on your credit card, okay?
It's not good.
Because one late payment can truly drop your scores anywhere between 50 to 120 points, okay? 35%. That is a huge chunk. So just with payment history and your utilizations, that's 65% of what makes up your overall score. So if you can't get it together, if you can't remember, put it on your calendar, put it on your alarm, go on auto pay, do what you have to do, but ensure that you are avoiding making late payments as well.
Absolutely. Set calendar reminders. Set reminders on your phone. Like life happens, we understand it. This is one of the reasons why, leverage this accordingly.
Yeah.
Right. And that's leveraging your calendar, right? Allow your calendar to be somewhat like your accountability partner, right? Where it's going to send you that reminder. Okay, cool. I got to pay this. What we do every week, every Tuesday, right? We're shooting this episode on a Tuesday. So later on this afternoon, we're going to go over our finances, right? Create, again, we can't hit a target that we can't see. So you want to ensure that you're implementing a monthly budget, and that you're able to review it on whether it's a week to week basis. Some people like to go over their, finances a couple times a week just to ensure that nothing slips through the cracks, right?
Yep.
So set a calendar reminder, go over your finances. Don't be afraid to face. That's the only way that we can fix it, right? If you are dodging it or preventing it, there's no way that you're going to be able to get to the next level, right? So I just want to encourage you guys, make sure you set the calendar reminder, right? Pay the bill. You know what goals you're looking to accomplish. You're the only person that's going to get in the way of accomplishing those goals, right? So we're giving you the knowledge, we're giving you the information, just execute on it.
Absolutely. And this is what it's all about. We just wanted to be able to push this forward, push this value forward, and be able to help position you guys for a better tomorrow. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Absolutely. We're still in 2025,
Absolutely.
Right? Set the tone going into 2026. Take a screenshot of this, this is powerful. This is the 5 factors of what makes up your overall score. If you can master this, I'm telling you, you're gaining your buying power is gonna be just by knowing this here. So
that's really good. And hey, even if you are in a good finance, because there's a lot of people that make, they're in a great financial position, right? They make great income, but their credit score doesn't match to what their income is, right? Because they may miss a payment.
Yeah.
Because they got life, everything's going on, moving so fast. Cool, slow down, put everything on auto pay, right? If you're in a good financial position, put your bills on auto pay. That right there will eliminate pretty much the bulk of you missing a payment or your credit card payments, bills on everything on auto pay. That way it's on auto pay. You don't have to worry about anything. Everything is getting paid on time, etc.
Today was educational, very educational. Anything we bring,
Yep.
we come in to educate and add value to your life.
And, we appreciate everyone supporting. Make sure that you like, subscribe,
Yes.
Share with at least 5 to 10 people. We want to continue to help as many people gain their buying power. But the last 3 data points that we want to kind of go over, just so you guys understand how your credit scores are calculated. Remember, you don't have just one credit score. You have several credit scores, right? So the other 3 will be length of credit history, right? Which is 15%, right? Lenders identify 2 things, whether you are a liability or an asset to them, right? Have you established good faith with other lenders? Have you been responsible with paying your loans, paying your bills, paying things on time over the last 3, 5, 10, 20 plus years, right? So 15%. So a lot of people are like, well, I have a 700 credit score, but I'm still getting denied. More than likely it's because you have what we call a thin credit profile. You don't have enough history. So what we have to do is we have to establish more positive history, right? We have people that have a 650 credit score, but they'll get approved faster because they have more positive history, right? What may be preventing you from getting to the 700 credit score club at a 650 is because utilization may be too high. You may have missed a, bill. So these are the reasons why it's important to understand these data points, your 5 data points, all right? And then the other one is types of credit, right? Revolving accounts, right? Versus installment accounts, right? Revolving will be your credit card. Installments will be like your car loan, etc. Okay. And then the last one is inquiries, right? Which is 10%. So we always recommend do not go over 4 inquiries within a 2-year period, right? It shows desperation. Lenders don't like desperation. It's like you're shopping around, you're shopping your credit scores around to different lenders. They don't want to see that, right? They want to know that, hey, listen, the leverage game, right? It's all about leverage. We talked about it, and I think we should dive into that maybe next week when it comes to if you're looking to buy a car, we'll explain to you the proper steps on how to buy a vehicle with not drowning yourself in unnecessary debt. Right. Again, there's something called good debt versus bad debt. And we'll go over that maybe next week. I think we should dive into that.
That's good stuff. I think it's definitely needed.
Yeah, for sure. That's all I got for you guys. I mean, if the queen, the credit queen, she don't like being called the credit queen, but I consider her the credit queen. But yeah, you want to share anything else before we close out today?
No, I just, I think that this is some great information. You guys, please don't sleep on this information. Take notes. As a matter of fact, save this video. You need to save this to your favorites. Okay.
That's good.
So that you can reference back to this. Okay. And definitely implement it. And always remember, you can't face what you're not willing to face. Right.
Absolutely.
So make sure that you guys are diving into your credit, making the necessary changes. And again, we are always more than happy to help you all, guide you all. If you need assistance, we'd be more than happy to conduct a detailed credit analysis for you, completely complimentary. We will make sure to leave the link in the comment section for you all. And I know you have a call of action to them. What we gonna give them to do. They got a little homework to do. Have them pay down their balances, before the next statement date for those who have credit cards.
There we go. So whenever, again, go identify, find out when your statement date is, right? Your closing statement date. And we challenge you, right? We encourage you that. We challenge you to pay that down and then come back and drop it in the comments what your current credit score is, right? Because if you follow these steps, your scores will drastically increase in the next 30 days. We're telling you, right? You have the information. We're telling you exactly what you can do, right? You just have to, you got to execute on the information. I mean, it's really that simple. You just have to execute on the information. If you execute on it, I promise you guys, you'll be like, man, I should have did this sooner, but it's all good. It's all good. We got your back, like Howard back. And
this whole thing was the Real Talk Real Gem right here.
Real Talk Real Gem.
This was the Real Talk Real Gem. So we always say, it's on us to provide the information to you. It's on you to execute on it. So
absolutely.
Again, don't sleep on it, implement it, and always know we're always here to help you, to help position you for a better tomorrow. So
episode 13, again, we appreciate you guys for tuning in on a week-to-week basis. The support doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you guys for sharing, liking, commenting. Listen, we're on the road to 700 subscribers, so we're going to keep this thing going. We're going to keep this train going. We're going to continue to push the envelope because that's our calling, that's our purpose. So make sure, again, you share with at least 5 to 10 people. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. That way we can continue to provide this information, right? We want our YouTube family to know that the supporters are taking this information to heart and that they're executing on it, and that it allows us to be able to do what we do best, and that's serve our communities to gaining their buying power. We'll see you guys next week.